Business Takeout presents The Healthy Entrepreneur with Maxine Choy.
Hello, everyone. Alejandro, how are you doing?
Hi guys.
I know, I'm so
Happy
excited.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, I know. Lovely, lovely Tuesday.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Healthy Entrepreneur Show. My name is Maxine Choy. I am a health and nutrition coach, and I work with individuals to help them attain achievable health and fitness goals. If you would like to book a consultation with me, please do so at my website. You can find me on Instagram at Live Well with Maxine. The Healthy Entrepreneur Show is a social enterprise that recognizes Black business through education and through recognizing Black health through business and education. If you would like to watch this show and any other podcasts that they have, please follow them on all social platforms. Also, join the Facebook group because there's so much more for you to learn. There's so much information that's valuable for all entrepreneurs. So I want to welcome I love it. I want to welcome you, Alex. I'm going to call you Alejandro because I love that name. And I'm going to introduce you. I'm just going to say a little bit about you
Sure.
to the
Thanks for
audience.
having me. Honestly, I'm honored.
Oh, listen, I am more than honored that you agreed to be on my podcast. So thank you so much. So your name is Alex Vivar, and you are from Ecuador.
Soy de Ecuador.
Yeah, Ecuador.
Yes.
And I saw you on Instagram and I thought, geez, this guy is like doing amazing things. Like you're like a beast. And you come on with this aggression and this like as if you're trying to like you made me feel guilty, like, okay, what's my excuse? Why am I not going hard on my fitness game? And why am I being so, laid back with it? And I think that you have this way about you where you get people to just like go beast mode. Like you have this way about you. Like I think like your persona, your attitude towards fitness is aggressive, and I love it because I think that's what gets people going when they want to just like really push themselves, right? So let me just tell the audience
Sure.
Okay, so you are an online fitness trainer. You're the owner of Clubhouse Toronto, which is a really cool concept. We'll talk about that soon.
Uh-oh.
I know, and it's funny because people are thinking Clubhouse. What? Nope. I love how you've got the name Clubhouse.
Yeah.
You're the founder of Team 257 Fitness, and which is a nonprofit fitness organization. Oh, you're wearing the shirt? Yeah, represent. And which is a nonprofit fitness organization for personal training groups, youth programs, post pre and postnatal fitness. Wow. And you're in Toronto, Barrie, and Sudbury. So welcome to the show. And let's talk.
Sudbury too. Niagara Falls too.
Oh, Niagara Falls too. You got to put down you've got to put that on there. Yeah. Okay. So like I said, I'm super excited to talk to you. There's so much that we can talk about. There's so much I want to ask you. There's so much layers to what you're doing. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. So we're just going to go right into tell us about why you started 257 Fitness.
Honestly, I wanted to give back. Like I've lived a negative life for a long time. That's not to say that I didn't have positives in my life. I come from a good family, but I did get into trouble. I was getting into trouble from an early age, and there was just always, I guess it's a part of me that wants to make amends. So changed my life in prison, got into fitness, and I came up with this idea, starting a nonprofit. And the reason why I started a nonprofit is because you can get into places, you have more access to resources when you're a nonprofit. So that's number one. Number two is I have more access to deal with youth. When we first started 25/7, we wanted to start a program for employment program for people coming out of prison. We wanted to give them opportunities. We wanted to hire them as personal trainers, diet coaches. We wanted to help them get certifications to change their life, because that's what happened with me. I got my certification in prison, came out, and the rest is history, right? And right. I was actually inspired in prison. I took an entrepreneurial course that they offer in prison before you get out. And that's where I wrote the business plan for 257 Fitness.
Amazing. Yeah. So you said prison, and so tell us what happened. What made you What landed you in prison?
I was always entrepreneurial, but it was just the wrong venture.
Right.
It was
You
the
know,
wrong venture.
I was listening to a podcast or a YouTube. I was watching a YouTube video of someone interviewing you, and you said something that I thought explained everything. I mean, I think if anybody wants to know about your stint with prison, that life in your past, I highly recommend they check out the YouTube video. But one of the things you said was like when the person asked you, like you did time in prison, and
Hmm.
you why before that, why were like what was happening, why were you in that world, what was driving you to do it? And you said you knew it was wrong but it worked. Right.
And
um
I
and
think
you
a lot
said,
of people do that, right? When it comes to
yeah,
business, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriages, like a lot of people, will stay in something that they feel is easy. It was easy for me, right? It wasn't hard
yeah,
work to pick up a phone and make a sale. It was super easy.
right. It's like, yeah, you know that you're in a situation that's not right for you, or you're not happy totally, but it was just easy. I totally understand that, because you knew at that time that what you were doing was wrong. You had a certain inner passion for your life. You knew what you wanted to do,
For
and it
sure.
wasn't this, but it just worked. It was easy, right?
Yeah.
And then you said that going to prison was like a break for you, for a fresh start. And I find, I mean, it's so funny because I kind of like resonated with that. It's almost like it's almost like having a job, right?
Yeah.
And the job is super, super stressful. Lots of, things happening with the job, and you can't stand it, but it pays well, and
Yeah.
you're in it, but
Yeah.
then you get fired, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or COVID comes and you get to stay home, and then you realize what you really want in life. I think a lot of people are stuck in their jobs.
Exactly.
They're looking for a way out, but they can't. And that's exactly how
Right.
I felt. Even though
Right. Right.
the job was in their career, I felt so stuck.
Yes.
My overhead was ridiculous. I was supporting I was like, it was ridiculous. So I
Hmm.
basically became trapped. Like I'm literally selling, doing negative stuff to sustain a lifestyle.
Yes. And and that goes with just about anything that we do. um you might be in a relationship, or it's something that you're a relationship that you might be doing the things, and it's just to support the lifestyle, support the family, support that look,
Yeah.
the image, right?
Yeah.
And for your mental health, that is just, it's so hard, because you have to wake up every day and face it. You have to wake up
Yeah.
every single day and face the fact that you're living a life that's truly not you. And I think for you, that prison time that you had was a way for you to sit down and reflect on your personal, like you. um, and
100.
yeah, it was a time for you to reflect, and that's what prompted you to become a personal trainer. So how is 25/7, like how is it working, and how do people get involved in
So
that?
25/7 right now, we have a big campaign going on. It's called Kicks for Kids. And what we're doing is we're raising $10,000. We want to lace up at-risk youth. We've been reaching out to social agencies,
Hmm.
midnight basketball, and we want to lace these kids up anywhere from age 14 to 16 with some nice shoes and nice gear, man. Some nice ball shoes, right?
I
So
see.
that's
Okay.
what we do throughout the year. We look for causes that are close to our hearts. We form partnerships. Like right now, we're have a partnership with Alpha Pack Sports, big up Alpha Pack Sports and Sneaks Around.
Nice.
Great. These are other entrepreneurs. Sneaks Around is owned by Nora. She's a Colombian. And Kevin, a black entrepreneur, owns Alpha Pack. So yeah,
Hmm.
well,
I saw that.
yeah, we're
Yes, I
just,
saw
you know
that.
what, 25/7 is just about having fun, giving back, and just trying to help the community, forming community. So
Right.
that is the like our nonprofit arm. Clubhouse is going to be the for-profit arm, because obviously we're running a gym, we have overhead, we need to pay bills. So with that, we're gonna use personal training, group training. We're gonna have a juice bar, but it goes hand in hand, right?
Of
So
course.
we're thinking out the box, because a lot of gyms, they just have the for-profit arm, so they help in a gym and they just rely on sales. They just rely on selling product or selling services. But the amount of exposure that we get with the nonprofit arm, we get on podcasts, we get on the news, we get interviews, we get free booths at festivals.
Right.
So it gives us a lot more exposure, and we've been able to grow at a way faster pace than other gyms that are just starting up.
Right, exactly. So Clubhouse is going to be like a fitness, wellness, juice bar type of place that
Yeah.
people, and is it a membership based place?
No, so what we want to do is we want to make it just like a clubhouse. Like it's a shared space. We want to make it a shared workspace where it's an amalgamation of fitness brands under one roof. So basically everyone's just collaborating. Like if you're part of the team, everyone has to contribute in some way or form. We're not going to charge memberships because it's not going to be that type of gym. You're part of the community, the gym is yours, you know? But we are doing the personal training and the group training and diet coaching. We're gonna have a podcast room. It's not even about fitness. You can just come out and chill at the back and have a coffee or have an iced coffee.
Well, you know I'll be coming there, right?
100%. You're gonna do yoga.
Oh yeah.
Where are you going? We're gonna do yoga.
Awesome. Okay,
we have
so
a rooftop for yoga.
You have the rooftop? Oh
the
my
rooftop,
gosh.
and you can see this.
Calm down, Maxine. Calm down, Maxine.
That's
Oh, it's there? That's
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can't. When is it going to be ready?
So July 1st, we're gonna prep, but we're gonna do the grand opening the following weekend, and you have a personal invite right now.
Awesome. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other so I guess what I want to ask is this. When you were in prison, what were the things that did you look back and regret anything that you were doing?
Yeah, of course you regret because you're away from your family. You feel like you're wasting time. Like that's the first thing that hits you. Like you start feeling sorry for yourself. I think anyone in a bad situation, they start feeling sorry for themselves.
Right.
But there's always a flip side to that. So what I used to think when I was in that situation is, what am I going to make out of this negative situation? And that's what kept me going. And that's what kept me resilient in jail, where at the end, I may have been growing in certain ways in prison more than people were on the street.
Right.
I was crushing, a book every 2-3 days. I was working on my fitness. I was eating healthy. I wasn't smoking or drinking. I was working on my business plan. So any negative situation like that, and any entrepreneur knows that. A real entrepreneur loves adversity because there's opportunity in adversity. You see, COVID came. COVID didn't scare us because we looked at it as an opportunity. And we see we're going to be the first ones out of the gate. It's an even playing field now. July 2nd, guys, it doesn't matter if you were this person in the game prior COVID or this person. It's all even. And it's going to be the first people out of the gate that are going to succeed. The first people that are doing something fun and creative, those are the entrepreneurs that are going to succeed. And that's our goal. That's what we're going to do.
Right. So, I mean, okay. So when I asked you if there was anything you regretted, you see, when I listened to your interview, you talked about how you were able to provide for your family.
Yeah.
So, in essence, I'm sure you don't regret that for what you did for them before you went. How did you feel about that? At least you gave them a start.
Yeah, of course. At least I gave them a start. And you know what? It's crazy because everything that I did, every illegitimate thing I did, I lost. Like the fruits, the reward of that were gone. But I made some good investments prior to coming in, and I was given another shot. So I came out and I had a little foundation to do my thing, and just like I said, like when we talked earlier, it's just about living frugal, right?
Right. So do you think that if you had not gone, that your life would have been, obviously it would have been different, but do you ever reflect on that?
I wouldn't even have been here having this conversation with you. I'd probably be dead, or I would be doing life in prison. That's how deep I was in that lifestyle, right? So we wouldn't even having this conversation. Like,
I see.
Right.
So you got your personal training certificate while you're gone, And you came out and you said what? You came out to life, and life was different, of course. What did you do?
I came out like hungry for like human interaction. Like I would talk to random strangers on the street. They would think I was a weirdo. I would talk to everybody. You know what? I went to go get a membership for me and my son at Good Life at Pape and Danforth, because I was at the halfway house at Jones and Danforth. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go up to the Good Life because I need to get a gym. This is my third day out. So I walk into the gym and with Marcus and we sign up for a membership. And then I see the fitness manager. He comes up to me. He's like, hey, you a trainer? And I got a job. I came the next day and I got a job. And it was like, wow, like 4 days out.
See?
Got a job at Good Life at one of the biggest clubs in Toronto. You know, Pape and Danforth is huge. It was an old theater.
Yes, I know that one.
And I was just exhilarated, like to go to work and come from a negative environment where people are, you know, grumpy and there's violence and there's like, you know, snakery, to now a healthy environment where people are working out
and taking care of themselves.
They're taking care of themselves, and there's good-looking people, and you know, everyone's happy. Everyone's happy to come to the gym. So that changed my life.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, what made you say you're going to become a personal trainer? I mean, you were doing the opposite.
Running. I was 268 pounds in prison. Started running in 2015. Started losing an incredible amount of weight. People would want to talk to me. I would say, if you want to talk to me, you got to run some laps with me, because that's all I would do. I would go out to the yard and I'd run. So there used to be a whole bunch of us running. I started a running group, and then that's when the guys that I was in with encouraged me. They're like, hey, like this is your calling. Like this is something you should do. Because I'm someone that when I like something, I immerse myself in it. So I had all the Running World magazines. I got all the brand new shoes. I was wearing compression socks. Like I was right into it, you know, carbing up the day before my long run. So these guys just encouraged me, and it just kind of put a light bulb, and I'm like, you know what? This is my way out.
Yes.
And I was always like, I didn't want to be like, and no, you know, no disrespect to people who are, you know, they have the labor jobs and the construction jobs. To me, honestly, I didn't want to go out and, you know, be the typical guy that comes out of prison and works in construction. I wanted to do something I love. And, you know, when I look at personal training, when I look at what I do at the gym, it's not even a job. 80% of my day is doing what I love.
Absolutely. And that's the best thing. That's the best, you know, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs go through that when we think about changing the direction in which we want to go. And sometimes it's because we want some stability and some security in our jobs. And then when you go and try it, you realize, you know, this is not for me. I'm not happy. You got to wake up every day and feel happy or feel alive and feel that you want to do it. Right.
Yeah. The people I feel like it's kind of like selling your soul in a little for money, you know?
Yes.
Because you lose when you're in a situation or a job you don't like. You are losing like a little bit of your soul, little by little, you know? It's like sucking the life out of you, right? Why would you do that?
For sure. I saw somebody, I think Dashman asked a question. I know you have 25/7 as your name. Yeah. So there's 24/7 as in 24/7. Oh, love your, I'm sorry. Love your.
Put in that extra hour, brother.
Oh, so there's 25/7 to put. Oh my God. Yes. It's just like when you're doing reps.
Mindset.
Yes.
That's it, bro. We work hard.
25/7. I got it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So you came out and you're like, okay, I want to be a personal trainer. You get the job at Good Life. And then that's obviously working for someone, but it was doing what you love. When did this change for you where you decided, okay, I'm going to go off on my own?
Well, that was always the plan. Like, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I just went to Good Life to network. Like, I went to Good Life with a plan. You know what I mean? I met who I needed to meet there, and with the intention of starting my own business. And that's what I do. Before I used to train people right around the block. You know, I would cut deals and say, listen, no one's looking out for me. I gotta survive, right? So I would train in the back. I would meet people at the park and train them there on the low. You know, because that's what hustlers need to do sometimes. And then that's where I started. I got a good client base, and I started doing my thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, your son.
I have two.
Oh, you have two sons.
Marcus, 20 years old, and Christian, 14.
Oh, so Marcus is the one I've seen.
Marcus is the one that sings, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did your kids, how did they manage when you were gone?
It was tough for them,
Yeah.
right? Not having any like strong male father figures. They did have my dad, right? So my dad was there for them. Um, but it wasn't the same. And luckily, in Canadian penitentiaries, you do get conjugal visits every 2 months. So I had the opportunity to connect with them every 2 months for a weekend, which was like a lifesaver for our relationship.
Nice.
And just over the phone. And I believe that I connected over a prison payphone more than a lot of people do with their kids on freedom. When
Right.
when do parents sit down with their kids for 1 hour and talk to them for an hour straight?
Oh
I did that
gosh.
with them for years.
Yes. So when did you come out?
I came
2000.
out I came out March 2016.
Nice. And it's been and from that time you've just been just sowing your roots, sowing the grassroots, and just doing amazing things. I see, on your Instagram page, you're constantly working out, constantly training, and you've got is it boot camps that you do? Is there anything?
Yeah, we do boot camps. We do a little bit of yoga. I'm getting my yoga instruction.
Nice.
That's the goal too. I want to eventually do even if
Absolutely.
they would let me go back into the prisons, I would. But what I do
Oh,
want to do is I want to do yoga with gang influenced youth.
go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Connect with people. It's so important
Yeah.
for that because it's so grounding.
Yeah.
And it's very good for the mental health,
Yeah.
right? So definitely do it. I mean, once you start to I don't know if you've started taking the course, but yoga is probably one of the most disciplined uh, sport that I've ever encountered.
Oh,
And because you learn so much in the whole process of
yeah.
what a yoga is all about, and it's just like, I guess it's like kung fu or tai chi or those any one of those crafts. It just changes the whole game and how you look at yourself and people and your body.
Yeah,
So definitely,
mind, body, and soul, right?
absolutely.
Working out is mind and body. I don't know if it's soul. I don't think my soul is involved when I'm bench pressing.
No.
But yoga is mind, body, and soul. And I'll be honest, like,
Absolutely.
I've went to some hot yoga classes that are the hardest workouts of my life. Like I'm literally in pools. It's a pool.
Yeah, you're because you're challenging your body. I
Absolutely.
saw some comments come up on
Yeah.
the screen, which I'm probably not going to be able to read. So let's see if you can read it. So he sounds so excited. He found his passion. You can hear it in his voice. English Forbes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, you have a lot of passion, and Facebook users totally love your interviewing style. Oh, thank you so much. Is that for me? And Dashman says, "Well, what? Without passion, it's not worth
Worth
it,
it. Yeah.
brother. Oh, it's not worth it, brother. Keep
Dashman.
doing." Do you know Dashman?
No, but link up. Let's link up, Dashman, for sure, brother.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Um, you know, like I really think that you are helping a lot of youth, and you talked about how you want to help the youth with changing the trajectory of their life because you were once there. You know what that's like. You know the game. You know what it does to your mind,
Yeah.
right? And like, tell us what do you have? What plans do you have, and how do you plan to do that? And
Well, we were waiting for COVID. Like COVID has kind of really put a stop, a dent into what we do, right? Because we were doing demonstrations at high schools. We were going into youth shelters and stuff like that. So it's really put a dent on what we do. But this Kicks for Kicks program is something, now we could start doing some outdoor boot camps. We've been running summer camps up in Sudbury for the past couple of years, and that's something
oh,
we're
nice,
going to get into. Is
nice.
Operating at a larger scale for our sports camps and just connecting with other Toronto businesses. Now we have, a couple of properties where we could do retreats. So maybe even like doing youth retreats, getting some sponsorship,
Absolutely.
raising money, and then, getting kids from some social agencies and busing them out here and spending a
Absolutely.
week with them. Right?
I think it's a great
That's
idea. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
I think even so, with the way that COVID has changed, I mean, I have a teenage daughter, so
Yeah.
what I find is that, or what I found, and even with her and her friends, they have gotten adapted to a life of just staying home, sedentary life.
Yeah.
And you wonder, like, what's going to happen when the world opens up? Are they going to go crazy, or are they going to stay?
No,
You know,
I think they're from what I've seen is that they're isolating themselves.
mm-hmm.
They're kind of
Yeah,
to go out in the world. There's a lot of people that are spooked to go out
for
into the
sure.
world. Like when they see large crowds, they start having anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I just witnessed that on the weekend because it was packed. It was packed, and I heard people making comments like, "Oh my God, like it's gonna get locked down again. Like why are you guys all out? Like you know what I mean?" But it's like
Right.
people are just living, right?
Right. I mean, I think it can go either way, because there was a time at Vaughan Mills where I think a bunch of them just went crazy. Not the teens, but more the older ones, in their 20s. And it's just a celebration of freedom, because we've been under lockdown for so long. So
For
I
sure.
think they just kind of went nuts. Um, so, but you and I were having a conversation, and you said something that resonated with me so well. You said that entrepreneurship is not easy. You have to make sacrifices. And you made a couple of references actually, to like the car you drive, where you live, the clothes you buy,
Yes.
the restaurants, all those fancy things that you're doing
Yes.
because you're fronting. I want you to talk about that the same way you did. Like, it's just, especially because it relates to what you had to do. You had
I
to
don't
like,
know. I think like a lot of like we live in a world now where they say image is everything, but I feel authenticity goes a lot farther than
yes,
image. Image will attract the people that I feel I don't really want. You know what I mean? My business is open to anyone, but if someone is just attracted to me because of an image versus my authenticity,
right.
that's completely different. So, I even in my high points,
Mm-hmm.
I was when I would go up to Sudbury, and I have my own room there, and I would rent it on Airbnb. And if someone is willing to give me $80 plus a $20 cleaning fee, you're willing to give me $100 to sleep in my bed, I'll go downstairs and sleep in the office. I'll sleep on the futon in the office for $100 because I look at that as I'm making $100 in my sleep. So it all adds up. It all adds up, right? That's
Yes.
the way an entrepreneur looks at it. It all adds up, right? So like I think it's not about what you make; it's about what you keep.
Okay.
Right?
What you keep.
That's about what you keep, right? And I've lived both lives. I
Right.
lived that lifestyle where I'm spending money. I've drove the $200,000 car, and the way I look at it now is like why would I spend money on a depreciating asset? Even though I'm writing it off, when I could use that to maybe help a fellow entrepreneur make some money, or I can invest that in a property that's bringing me residual income and giving me, making my infrastructure stronger and making the infrastructure of my team stronger, right? So a lot of people don't think about that. There's a lot of, I think it's selfishness. You know what I mean? And what I'm learning now is it's all about your team. It's all about the people you are with and shared resources. You know what I mean? So in your team, everybody has to produce. Everybody has to have something to offer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, you need to accumulate the right things, right? It's not just about expensive dinners and real estate.
So you're saying that when you become an entrepreneur, you have to sort of like make the sacrifice and dim down that light a bit so that you can get there.
When you're an entrepreneur, you have to spend way less, of
Way
course.
less. Yeah,
Way less.
exactly. Yeah, it's so true.
You gotta put every last penny back into the business.
Yeah, I know. Like you said, you had to eat like canned food for a little bit,
I would
right?
eat chickpeas and veggies, and I would buy whole chickens and boil them, so
Yes.
all the meat would fall off the carcass. And I would spend, when I first came out, $35 a week on groceries. And it's not because I couldn't afford.
Right.
I wanted to make that sacrifice. I wanted to develop discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline.
Yes,
and
discipline.
the same thing every day to form discipline. I know my business is gonna work.
Absolutely.
There's no way my business can't work.
That is so true, because I find that when you're an entrepreneur, there's a lot of expenses that come up, right? And there's a lot of expenses for the business that you
Yeah.
need to pay.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, because we're not disciplined in the other areas in our lives,
Yeah.
we can't afford to invest in, like, say, a good website or a good marketing person,
Yes.
or even if you want to, like even your t-shirts, for instance. I know that costs a lot just to get the inventory to even
Yeah.
sell a t-shirt,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, like I've been there before, where I say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and do this, but I didn't have the money to fork out I didn't have the money to fork it out so I can build it.
Yeah, exactly. It all adds
Yeah.
up, and you're giving away a lot of money. Like, we give away shirts, we give away mugs.
Yes.
All that costs money. Like, you
It
have
costs
to
money.
invest.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have to show value, right?
Right. Amazing. Well, we're just come to the end of the show. I would love to speak to you so much more. I really do thank you so much for gracing us with
Thank
your presence. If anybody wants to follow you, they can follow you at where we got here. We've got
Underscore Alejandro Vivar underscore 257fitness.com, guys.
awesome. So do you have any programs right now that anybody in the audience can?
Yeah. So right now we got free classes, guys. We got Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. So even Maxine, if you can promote it on your social media, everyone's invited.
Okay.
We have Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. And then we have Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. And everyone's invited. It's a great class, great community. Come get a sweat.
Is it virtual?
It's virtual. Yeah, we got it on Zoom.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So definitely. So, where would I find this? If I go on your Instagram, would they
You
find it?
come on my Instagram, yeah, or go on the
Okay.
Clubhouse page.
The Clubhouse page.
Either
Okay,
or.
yeah,
Yeah. But
that's
if
right.
anyone's interested, if they could just come to visit my page.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have one last question.
Of course.
When the doors are closed and all is quiet and nobody's watching, what is Alejandro doing?
I'm sleeping.
Oh,
I'm getting much needed rest. No, honestly, like I like talking to my son. I'm like, at the end of the night, I'll talk to my son or I'll talk to my dad. I'm just talking to family, right?
so you're family oriented.
I'm trying to be more family oriented because I feel like I've been very career oriented, very career driven.
Yes.
And again, like I realize now life and relationships is the most valuable currency. So I'm trying to change those patterns,
Right.
and little by little, but I'm making more of a conscious effort to check up on my sons and check up on my parents and talk to my sister and stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, that's really interesting because oftentimes we may think that we may need to either, I don't know, meditate more or read more books, which is fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes the piece that's missing is the family time that you need with your family.
Absolutely.
And whether that be a phone call every night or even just going for a walk with your parents or your kids.
Absolutely.
Or even a mini vacation, just go somewhere and just like relax and chill out. Right. So thank you for sharing that with me. And of course, this is a little confession. So whenever I post my guest host, right?
Okay.
So whenever I get some feedback from, if it's a man, I get feedback from the ladies. Okay. And if it's a lady, I get feedback from the men. Okay. So you're always posing with no shirt on, and you've got like you're just like ripped. You're like a washboard, right?
What? I'm just having fun. I just want to live carefree. Like, you know what? In my old lifestyle, I'd get roasted for pictures like that. Guys would call me all kinds of names. Now, you know what, man? It's just, I just want to feel alive,
Don't ever stop. There's no explanation needed. You just keep it coming. Go shirtless. All right. Whatever it is that you want to do.
You heard it. Go shirtless.
Women will never complain about that. Okay. But I want to ask you about that famous picture you have on your Instagram page. Yeah. The one where you're laying down naked as ever with flowers covering your private parts. Tell us the story behind that one. You knew I wasn't going to leave that alone.
I was listening to Pac that day. And I thought about it. I was listening to Tupac and his poem, the rose that grew from the concrete jungle. Beautiful book, beautiful poetry. And again, like I just wanted to be like, you know what, man? Like I don't care what people think. Like before I would be thinking, oh my God, what are my old friends going to think? What are girls going to think? And what my parents think? Like even my mom, I had to have a conversation with my mom because my mom was like, why did you do that? You know, like you have to, right? But my mom was raised in a different way where she had to be very proper and she couldn't be herself. So I feel that experimenting in those ways is allowing me to find who I truly am.
I really love that because I even struggle with that myself. I've got, even on my Instagram, I have 2 Instagrams, and I struggle with posting certain images of myself because of what I believe people will say or you know, and judge me for it. And I think it's time that we stop. I think Instagram, whether it's for business or pleasure, it's a way of expressing yourself, really, right? And I really like that. So you know, the fact that you did that, I think it made a lot of men say, hey, you know what the heck, why not? You only live once, right? And your body's not going to stay that way forever. Somebody once told me that. They said, Maxine, you're not going to stay young forever. So while you have it,
have fun.
Have fun with it. That's it. Have fun with it.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much, Alejandro. Thank you. And for anyone who's watching, I want to thank the guests for watching. Not the guests, our viewers for watching. I appreciate you so much for always tuning in. I want to thank the producers as well. In the meantime, Alejandro, I wish you all the best, and I will continue to follow up with you and follow you and engage with you. And I hope the audience does the same because you've got a lot coming down the pipeline, and I can't wait.
Thank you, Maxine. And to all the viewers, thank you for watching, guys.
Yes.
You guys all have a good night and stay safe.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoy our programming and want to help support Black entrepreneurship, please donate today. www.businesstakeout.com/donate.